the book is basically intended to show complete systems for handling different kinds of immigration cases. And by that, we're talking about all of the resources and materials that a lawyer would need typically to be able to prepare a particular kind of case. So we are going to basically walk you through the DACA chapter in the book to give you an idea of the kinds of materials that, and we think a new lawyer would want to have available to basically know how to actually file a DACA case, but also a seasoned lawyer, the kinds of systems that they'd want to have to ensure that the quality is there, that they're not missing anything, and also that they're preparing their cases in the most efficient manner possible. And then we'll talk probably during the Q&A about how to incorporate these systems into your practice and into your case management system, et cetera. So I'm gonna hit screen share, and hopefully this will come up correctly. Ari, why don't you get started in describing?
Right. So the overview is meant to give you an idea of what issues to be looking for, what you need to be preparing, and just to give you an idea, it's really useful for those that have not previously handled those types of cases, or would like to get a brush up on them before handling a type of case.
Right. Sorry.
It's not meant to give you the in-depth, detailed law of the type of case. So it's really meant to supplement the rest of the system.
Yeah, it's a quick overview. It's not designed to be, duplicate what Kurzban does in terms of giving you all the depth in a particular subject, but it is helpful to have sort of the black letter basic law on a particular subject before getting into the actual preparation of the case. So it's basically designed to be sort of more of a quick review for lawyers that who know this stuff, and for newer lawyers, it's just an overview, and you're going to probably still want to have the resources available to get into the weeds and making sure you understand the law. But this is something that we thought would be helpful, and we have this in every one of the chapters. Is a basically typically about a 10 to 25 page overview of a particular subject.
With each chapter, we have one or more sample workflows. And just to emphasize, these are all samples. So they're really meant for the attorney to take them and make them their own. We tried to make them simple and easy to be able to edit, customize to your specific firm. There's going to be, for example, the workflow, there's going to be certain attorneys that, have different cases that the order may be a little different. And you may want to use different items. It's really just to get you started. Also, the great thing about the overview is that it gives you an idea of how some of these documents in the rest of the chapter are used. It doesn't necessarily list every document in there, but a lot of the documents it'll list and show you when that sample is supposed to be used. So again, we encourage people to take this and update it to how their firm does it, and to make it a part of your system.
Yeah, so the idea is basically from beginning to very beginning, the initial consultation with the attorney, all the way through the completion of the case. It's designed to basically walk you through the process. And again, as I already mentioned, I mean, if you are a practice with paralegals, there may be sections in here that are applicable. If you don't have paralegals and everything's on your own, then you'd obviously want to customize it based on your setup. But it does give you a pretty good idea from beginning to end of what is necessary to be able to provide the case. So it's a good overview document to have at the very beginning.
Again, if you don't have paralegals, this still works just fine. And if you use your paralegals differently, have different parts that you handle and different parts that the paralegal handles. Again, very easy to make those adjustments to customize it to your practice.
Right. I think it's useful though for lawyers, and just, when we're talking generally about systems, to have sort of a big picture view of, every step of the process from beginning to end that is involved with a particular kind of case. Because when we are working on our matters, we tend to sort of get lost in the weeds, and we don't really sort of think through the big picture of every part of the process. And that's where mistakes happen in a lot of cases, because we forget that there's a certain part of the process that takes a certain amount of time. And so I think it helps, even if you're a pretty experienced lawyer, to have that quick overview as well. And it's also the kind of thing as well that's I think useful when you're explaining to a client how the process is going to work, to have that kind of cheat sheet in front of you, so that you can give them a better overview of the different phases of the case and what's going to be happening. And so that's why we provided that in each chapter. All right. The next thing we get into is eligibility screening.
Right. So with each chapter, we have provided eligibility assessment tools. These are to be used by the attorney in consultations, or if you're assessing for a new benefit. We tried to be as thorough as possible and get all the questions that you need to ask to make an assessment. It is, it still requires some lawyering, but we try and walk you through the process as much as possible, and let you know where to be able to spot all the issues, or as much as possible, that go into assessing eligibility.